the people in her circle are saying that she is ready to make a political decision. Reporters, investigators, people political in her circle, whispers. I see everybody saying, hey, so I knew y'all was going to go with that anyway. So they're saying that she's ready to make a political decision. Now, the decision is she's going to run for governor of California, or is she gearing up for a 2028 run for president of the United States of America? I was so surprised at what happened during this past election. And I'll tell you why. I know that in most instances that everything is already planned out, everything is already set up. And I think that Joe Biden just threw an audible last election, and that he decided at the last minute, you know what, I'm going to run for re-election. The setup was for Kamala Harris to get the nod much earlier than she got it, but it just seemed like the Democrats was just in disarray. Obama didn't want to endorse her right away. Now she's out here doing speeches. And so they're saying that Kamala Harris, probably one and the same, Kamala Harris is ready to make a decision, and she's probably going to lean towards what?
And do battle if we don't take care of ourselves and each other. Please take care of yourselves. Be blessed. And I'll see you out there. I'm not going anywhere.
Recognizable face of former Vice President and presidential nominee Kamala Harris, telling everyone California's not going anywhere. But where is she going to go, politically speaking? Well, that's a question the New York Times tried to ask and answer. Tyler Pager is one of the authors. So, Tyler, thanks for being with her. Good job on the article. What do you think the answer is?
It's a great question. A lot of people are asking. Increasingly in conversations we had with many of her allies, former aides, current aides, it seems increasingly that she is leaning toward a run for California governor.
According to people in her inner circle, and I've seen multiple different reports of this, according to people in her inner circle, they're saying that Kamala Harris is leaning towards running for governor of California. Now, we know that this is an alley-oop. She has the brand recognition, the face recognition. Obviously, every Democrat that runs for president of the United States of America, they can win California because California voted for him. And so Californians have been saying that it is her race to turn down and lose. It is a race to turn down and lose. So the question that I have for the chat is, are you guys ready for a Kamala Harris governor of California to then take over and run your entire state, run the budget, run everything? I can't wait till she designate herself. She gonna win California easy. She gonna win California. If this is what she does, and everybody is saying that she's going to run for governor of California, that she doesn't want a J.D. Vance standing in front of her at all. Are you guys, my Californians that's in the chat, are you absolutely positively with Governor Harris and First Gentleman Dougie Emhoff being the people that is running California? Let me know.
That has not been fully decided yet, and obviously with all politicians, nothing is official until it's formally announced.
Exactly.
But increasingly, her activity, her conversations, and her interest seems more geared to that race next year.
And that would inevitably foreclose a 2028 presidential bid, would it not?
Ostensibly, yes. The way that she's presented it to people she's discussed it with is that it's a binary choice, either running for California governor or running again for president in 2028. Some allies have pointed out that she would be young enough
Ms. Joy says she's glad she left California.
Should she forego this run? Doesn't officially close the door, but politically speaking, it's a choice between those two races.
And do those close to her perceive it as a sort of foregone conclusion if she does announce that she would?
That's going to be the first female governor of California, right? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that.
Not only be the front runner of the Democratic primary, but in all likelihood, the runaway winner.
For the California governor,
Yes.
that is.
Randy, you don't
that
think that
is
she
what
can win
they
California?
assume, and there are people already in the race
I think that she would definitively win California.
who have basically said that they would withdraw and clear the way for her, but not everyone has.
Javier Becerra
yes.
has not.
Look at these people.
Former
You don't think that Kamala Harris can? I know they be getting mad that I be, if you get her name wrong. Kamala Harris would win against Tony Atkins, Xavier Stephen Eleni, Katie Porter, Raji, Tony, Antonio, Betty, or Michael Younger. Y'all don't think that she could beat any of those Democrats? And we know California ain't turning red, so we can forget that. You don't think that she can win California against these people? Michael Younger ain't got a chance. You can forget it, bro. Tony Thurmond, just eliminate black men altogether. She would be the only black woman in the race. As liberal as California is, oh man, that's it. It doesn't matter about policy. It doesn't matter about race. It doesn't matter about anything. She's a black woman. She's a black woman. Yeah, she gonna win that. That's a landslide. Ain't even no point in running against her. She winning that in a landslide, bro.
HHS secretary in the Biden administration.
Yeah, one of her former colleagues who
Yes.
replaced her as Attorney General as well. So there is a belief that she would be the clear frontrunner, particularly from those close to her. She obviously has the stature of a former vice president and a network of running 2 presidential campaigns that would bolster her efforts. But it is not clear that she would automatically run away from the race. There isn't a lot of polling yet to really determine what the race would look like with her in it. But there is belief that the race would be much easier for her than, of course, running for president again.
So there's 2 ways to look at Kamala Harris, if you're a California Democrat or if you're a Democrat who lives in another state. And there's a fascinating anecdote in your piece about the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race. It was high visibility nationally just a couple of weeks ago. Control room, that's graphic number 2. I want to read from it. Ms. Harris's offer to visit Wisconsin was rejected as a potential distraction during early voting, according to people briefed on the discussions. And even the Zoom call, the vice president was on a Zoom call with activists in Wisconsin among the Democrats, was kept private until after the polls closed.
That is true. That's true. They did private it. They didn't release that until they already knew what the results was of the Wisconsin race. You remember the judge over in Wisconsin? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They did not release that. That was tight-lipped. And so people are scared of being around her.
At the request of Wisconsin Democrats. It doesn't mean she's radioactive, but it means there is more than a little bit of sensitivity about involving her publicly in any contested space outside of California.
Certainly, and I think some of the important context there was that the Democrats in that state were trying to make the race about Elon Musk,
right,
who poured in a lot of money and publicly appeared days before the election to bolster the Republican-favored candidate in that race.
Don't do anything that might increase awareness and mobilization on the right.
Absolutely, and I think that was the intention there. But it is obviously a stark reminder that Kamala Harris lost that state in November and remains a divisive figure for some Democrats who feel that she was maybe not the best person to take the mantle up from Joe Biden, and maybe was not the strongest candidate. Obviously, she didn't win the election in November. So I think that is something that she and her team and allies and advisors are ruminating over as she decides what her political future looks like. And as we report in the article, a lot of that is just that rumination period is some reflection and frustration over the circumstances with which she inherited a campaign and ultimately ended up losing to Donald Trump.
I think that she can and that she probably will. My money is on Kamala. I can't believe that I'm saying it. I can't believe that that's even coming out of my mouth. What is my life coming to? I am putting my money on Kamala Harris for governor of California. If it's a poll to be voted on, I'm going to vote that Kamala Harris is going to win. I'm going to put my money on Cam. I'm putting my money on Cam all day long. I 100% think that she's going to win California if she decides to vote there or if she decides to run for office there. Not even a doubt in my mind. I think she would win in a landslide with all of those. Have y'all seen what's happening in Oakland and what's happening in San Francisco? All of those crazy looking people walking around on the streets. Have y'all seen what Hollywood looks like now? Of course, I think that she can win California. And she got all of her sorority sisters holding her down. She's an AKA. Remember when a Divine Nine mobilized behind her in order to get her to win president of the United States of America? Y'all think that I was going to let y'all live that down? Y'all didn't think that I was going to pay attention to that? Yes, I do. Yes, I remember. I remember when y'all was supporting Cam for president of the United States of America. She got her sorority. She got the Divine Nine. She got the black people. 92% of all black people. She got everything. Absolutely, I think that she can win California. And she probably will win California.